Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Vidane TV. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth, production trailer, wherever you may want to call it. We've called it multiple things where we're at right now, and don't get too close. Gonna have to turn that volume up a little bit louder here tonight. Let your neighbors know you're watching some iRacing action here tonight on Vidane TV. A little bit under the weather, but that's not gonna hold me back from Neps Night in America, baby. Got the NEP at Dega, the Duels at Dega here by 229 Autosports jumping on board with the sponsorship here tonight. And, man, this is going to be a blast. Taking a peek, looking like 28 drivers lining up on the field 2x2 all the way through, getting ready to rock and or roll here at Talladega. And you can see Dale Glessner up on the pole with a 54.065, flat flying around here in these Xfinity cars. Keith Lord on his outside there in the 17. Devin Marhefka and his brother Brendan Marhefka going to make up row number 2. Regan Parent and Brandon Newhouse there in row 6. Brent Roy, Austin Belke, Ryan Salvatore, Charles Lewandowski going to round out the top 10. These drivers getting to rolling here behind that pace car, getting ready to do battle here for 50 laps. There you can see Scott McDonald, Kenny Kibbe back there in 13th and 14th. John Peters has himself the most wins in NEP history on super speedways. Evan Ballou there in the 16th position. Cody LeBlanc, Steve Dalio, Bobby Shipp, Zane Farrell rounding out the top 20. And you can see there's a whole bunch of drivers that have showed up to do a little bit of racing here tonight. Mike Hopkins back there, Jason Ricker in 21st and 22nd, Ryan Messer, Jared Adams, Corey Casagrande all the way back in 25th, Matt Shanowski, Dylan Kopech starting 27th, and Adam Henry in the 62 car going to start shotgun on the field in 28th. This is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of drivers here at Talladega. We've seen that at these super speedway tracks, literally anything can happen. Anybody can win from pretty much any spot, and that's what we expect. We expect nothing less here from the NEP series and here on Vidane TV. These drivers all lined up, ready to go. Got that long front straightaway to get all the way down and around and make sure that everything is all tight. Everything is ready to rock and roll. And we can take a quick peek here at the point standings. Kenny Kibbe out front by quite a bit. Looks like he's got about a 23-point lead over Regan Parent. Steve Dadio's in third in points. Evan Bollier running in fourth. And Brent Roy breaking his way into the top 5. Reigning defending 3-time series champ John Peters all the way back in 6th in points. About 47 or so points back. So having a little bit of ground to make up. But we've seen Peters has been on a bit of a hot streak here the past couple of weeks. The NEP series racking off a couple of quick wins here. But we'll see what happens. 50 laps on the docket. 2.66 miles all the way around this racetrack. Let's do us a little bit of NASCAR. Green flag flies, and this is the part where we take a look and see who's got these restarts. How about that paint scheme for Regan Parent? Lots of chrome on that 17 car. Very, very sharp. One of the 17 cars. The 17 car there in third place. A little bit of chrome that adds 10, 15 horsepower per square inch, I think is what it is. There you see Brent Roy there on the inside in the 26 car, the Camry kid. Seen him very strong on these super speedways. Has himself a victory as well on the big tracks. And getting kind of hooked up. You see a little bit of mayhem down here. John Peters down below the apron. I believe that's Kyle Casagrande. No, that is Cody Labonte, 7 cars, 7-8H. Looks like they gather it back up, though. No harm, no foul. Everybody pointed in the right direction. That may very well have been a couple of drivers kind of electing to maybe drop to the back a little bit. You see that happen quite often with these super speedways, especially some of the veterans here in the sim racing world. We kind of drop back in the pack just a little bit and try to avoid calamity, avoid any wrecks that may be going on up towards the front. You can see right now everybody kind of minding their P's and Q's, giving a lot of room. There's a lot of give and take early on. You hear that a lot in motorsports, in racing. Early on, you give a little bit of room. You give a little bit of room. At the end of the race, towards the end, the last quarter or so, you take all that back, and that's going to be one of the exciting things to follow along here at Talladega. I want to thank everybody for tuning in live here tonight. We're live all over the internet, the Vidane TV Facebook page, the NEP Facebook page. We're over on YouTube. We're over on Twitch. Give us a like, a subscribe, a share, all that fun stuff. And let your friends and family know that you're watching a little entertaining iRacing action on a Thursday night. And hey, let them know it's NEPs night in America, baby. You can see Glessner still holding on to that lead on that bottom side. He's got Reagan Parent behind him in that 17 car. Lord up on the high side. Leading that top side, he's got Marhefka right in behind in that 22 car. And right now, the two lines are pretty well evenly matched. You can see there's a few more drivers down on the bottom side, but the high side is really condensed. Well, it was really condensed. It's pretty condensed up to the front 2 or 3 or so. But this is one of those deals where you can go too wide for the entire field, pretty much. Go all the way back, and we've even seen times where it's 3x3x3, and that was one of the things that some of the drivers have called for before practice kicked off here just a little bit ago at Talladega. That this is a big racetrack. There's a lot of room to maneuver, so definitely going to be looking for these guys to throw a little shade on that high side and see if they can make that high side work. Beautiful camera angles here brought to us by TrackCams 22. They're downloadable cameras that you can get for the iRacing service. You plug right in, you pretty much copy and paste them. But man, oh man, some awesome camera shots that we're able to pick up of the pace car for some reason. Out of these, the packs and the racing. You even take a look from the fan cam, see what it would look like to be a fan here in the stands at Talladega with NEP drivers out on track. Awesome, awesome shot. You can see Belky going by. And the 24 car kind of made his name here in the Super Speedway or the Super Truck Series. About a year and a half ago we had here on Vidane TV. Very quick driver, very good on these Super Speedways, and definitely going to be a factor here later on in this one. Right now, kind of just inside the top 10, running in ninth. No damage or anything on the car. Everything looking A-OK. He's got Ryan Salvatore right in front of him, RSal TV. There you can see his logo on the hood. Check him out on YouTube and on Twitch. He's helped us out here on the booth, or in the booth here at Vidane TV this week. Will have been a bit under the weather and done an awesome job calling some races here. So Ryan Salvatore, a man of many hats, and tonight he's doing a pretty good job, really good job so far, up in at 7th in that top 10 in that 12 car. Charles Lewandowski right up inside of him in A01 car, trying to make a little high side action work. He's got Uhouse right up in front of him, and you can see there's right nose to tail with Marhefka and Lord on that top side. And it's always kind of cool to see these camera angles where these cars are so close to each other, where you can almost you couldn't even put a piece of paper in between them if you wanted to get that close at that high rate of speed. But there you can see there's 6, maybe 7 cars. Michael Hopkins jumping up on the high side there as well to kind of join the fun, but they're still able to really hold on. There seems to be 3, maybe 4 extra cars there down on the bottom side of the racetrack. And, well, as I say that, there's kind of a second group back there. We'll take a peek at what's going on back here just a little bit. We saw Mike Hopkins there having a good run up in 13th. He's gained 8 spots here tonight. He's been doing a great job as a race official here in the NEP Series the past couple of weeks. But Talladega came around and says, no, sir, I am putting on the helmet, and I'm going to do a little bit of racing here because anything can happen at Talladega. So Mike Hopkins having a solid run in that 78 car. Brian Shipp in the mix as well in the 48. Corey Casagrande, we've mentioned, he started towards the back of the pack. He's up 9 spots. Biggest mover of the race so far in the positive direction in that 7CT car, up in the 16th position. Zane Farrell right around in there. He's one of the drivers we saw kind of drop towards the back there on lap 1. Matt Chinoski's there as well. Solid racing throughout the field here. Working lap number 8. The Duel at Dega here presented by 229 Autosports. This guy's putting up a little bit of money to get the racing action here. And you can see starting to heat up just a little bit. Got a third line. Not really a third line. Kenny Kimby stuck in the 4 car in the middle there. Going to be dropping back like a rock unless he can get anybody to kind of jump up there in the middle or even maybe let him in line here. But everybody giving him enough room and saying, sorry, bud, we'll maybe catch him down the next time around. Still 2x2, pretty much all the way through the field. You can see the 4 car slides up onto the high side. Now Mike Hopkins stuck in the middle in that 78 car. He's able to get just a little bit of draft there off the back of the 01 car. And this is interesting. Kibbe going to go all the way up and start that third line. We made mention that could definitely be a possibility, and it's already a possibility here as we work lap number 9. The 17 car keeps going to try and sneak up in front there of Devin Marhefka, who got up in front of the 4 car of Kibbe. You got 4 cars now up on the high side. 5 cars, Austin Belke in the 24 car, going to slide on up and join that high side. And you can see Mike Hopkins taking a peek, wiggling that wheel to the right. Looks like he may very well try and jump up on that high side, backing up a little bit from that center groove. Actually, he might be backing out of harm's way, as you can see 3 wide here. That high side trying to make a move up on the top. Devin Marhefka in that 22 car, powered by Milk, coming all the way around. He's trying to chase down that Oreo paint scheme. How funny is that? Leave it to me to pick up the snack jokes. In any sense, great run here so far. Clean and green for the first 10 laps here at Talladega with the NEP series. And these drivers showing that they can really handle these Xfinity cars. And that high side really making a little bit of momentum, because the middle side really kind of breaking up. U-House, one driver up in the front, you can see getting a little bit squirrely now. Hard bumps from the 01 of Lewandowski, backs up just a little bit, gives him a little room to breathe. And he's going to get right back on him here on the back straight to try and get up in front of one of these 2 lines. They don't want to fall all the way back through the field, because track position big here at Talladega. One of the key things that you're going to need to win this race. Little bit of a wiggle there for the 01 of Lewandowski. Gathers it back up, though. Keeps it pointed in the right direction. We stay clean. We stay green. We stay 3 wide. How about that? Highline once again picking up momentum. 78 car once again picking up steam. You can see he's up in the top 5, top 6 or so. Using that momentum from that middle line. The 3 car going to jump down to the bottom. U-House leaving everybody out to try. But he's going to get that lead, though. So that's going to be a favor that those guys are going to want to get repaid later on for sure. But you can see the 01 still holding on strong in what was the middle line. Mike Hopkins right in behind him. And you can see they're trying to figure out, do we keep going 3? Do we try and get 2? Oh, how about that? The 10 car of Glessner. He wants that lead back. He's going to jump up on the high side, try and lead these cats back to victory. And now you've got guys kind of swapping lanes here at this point. 12 laps in. This is getting dicey. Trying to get organized once again in that top side. You can see Marhefka in the 22 getting a piece of that wall, going to slide back a few spots, but everybody able to kind of line up almost single file there. There's still a bunch of drivers that want to really go to that extreme high side. You can see Mike Hopkins getting a little froggy there, showing he's got a fast car, that 78 car. He's biggest mover at this point, actually tied 15 spots gained between Mike Hopkins and Matt Chinoski. So both drivers having a great run, and awesome to see Hopkins run up in the top 10, up in the top 5 as he takes over that 5th position. And you can see really trying to peak, trying to get these guys to go up on that high side, to get all the way around, get high, wide, and handsome up by that safer barrier. And I think it might be a little bit too early to try and play those cards. You can see just how condensed both of these lines are. Once you get them split up into 2 or 3 or even 4 wide, really going to start getting dicey here. But showing he's got a fast car. The 78 going to kind of dip out, maybe get a little air on the nose, make sure everything's okay with the temps, and tuck back in. And you can see the Lord machine going to slide down to that bottom side in front of U-House and take over the lead. Glessner now going to take over the lead on that high side, and he's going to try and do the very same thing. You can see these guys kind of utilizing that top line to get up to the lead, and they're almost cycling through the positions. The high line will push, leader slides down. High line, push. Leader slides down. And you see that a lot at Talladega, but these guys putting on a heck of a show here. 15 laps in, Lord down on the bottom, Glessner on the high side. Snaking and slicing their way down through that backstretch. You can see just how hard these drivers are pushing. Mike Hopkins all over the back bumper there of Dale Glessner in the 10 car, leading that high side, getting a little bit slidey. And you can see as these drivers start to lose a little bit of that tire wear, they really start to lose the back end of these cars. A little onboard action with that 78 of Mike Hopkins. And you can see just right up on that back bumper. Little bit of a tap there, getting into the dog leg here on the front straightaway. Backs up just a little bit. That's textbook bump drafting here at the racetrack, or the super speedway rather. There you can see, you can listen to the throttle, driving the car more with the throttle than he is his steering wheel. Backing up just a little bit, getting onto him, getting close to that bumper. And then once you see on the back straightaway, hammer down, he's going to try and take all that drafting and all that extra draft, all that momentum, and just put it right into the back bumper of that 10 car and really start to push him ahead here. And you can see he gets right up door handle to door handle with that second place car in a line of Dale Glessner. Brandon U-House down to the bottom side. Not sure what Dale Earnhardt paint scheme. That's probably where Dale was. Dale Glessner, Dale Earnhardt, Brandon U-House, the Oreo paint scheme. There's a lot going on there in the top four. But Brandon U-House in the 3 car holding on to that second position. And you can see that high side really starting to come in. And a big push there from Hopkins in the 78. You can see how Glessner has the lead now. He is out in front, but he's going to try and stay out there. He might be trying to bring Hopkins with him. $17 car of Lord holding on to the bottom side. U-House right on his back bumper. Glessner and Hopkins on that type side, and guys are starting to come back up to the top. You can see the 99 car of Daddio up there. Kenny Kibbe, Charles Lewandowski, Matt Shanoski, Brent Roy, currently the top 10 as they run. And pretty much the entire field still up in this lead pack. And everybody on the racetrack still on the lead lap. Still 28 drivers up in here. You can see a long snaking line here as they come through. And that's one of the cool things to see here. It's 18 laps in at Talladega, and there you can see it. There's the move we were looking for. The 10 and the 78 sliding on down in front of Keith Lord. Those two drivers are hooked up. They are getting everything they can. And you can see big bump there from the 78 trying to push the 10 even further away from these guys. Well, but you can see the pack catching right back up, because that's just how drafting works here at these big tracks, at these super speedways. But Glessner to the lead, Hopkins back into second, Keith Lord in third, and Daddio, you can see now the first car on the high side. He's going to try and do what he can to get back up to the front. Phenomenal racing between these drivers. Still 2x2 throughout the entire field here for the front. Almost 10, 12 lines here. Rows, rather. You can see Glessner still in the bottom. Daddio up top. 78 car Hopkins up in the fight. Kenny Kibbe, the 4 car up there as well. Matt Shanoski in the 42 car. How about that? 20 spots gained for that 42 car from where he qualified back a little bit, way back further in the pack. Highest running Toyota there as well, but he's broken into the top 10 and trying now to break into the top 5. Getting close to the halfway marker here. 50 laps on the docket. We have 20 of them down. I believe these drivers are going to have to make at least one pit stop for fuel as they come down to it. But we will see what the cards do here, and if we do in fact get to see a little green flag pit stop action. But one of the cool things that we're seeing here at Talladega, without any cautions, we've been clean and green here for 20 laps at Talladega, and the leader, Steve Daddio in the 99 car, up on that high side, started way back in the field, started 18th, he's up in second. Dale Glessner leading that top bottom side. He started on the pole, and he's been up and down throughout the top 5, top 10 or so, but it's been leading most of this race so far here. Steve Daddio up and back in third. Mike Hopkins, 19 spots gained. Matt Shanoski in 6th. He's gained 20 spots. Kenny Kibbe, he's gained 10 spots. So great to see that these guys are really able to kind of utilize the draft, get a little high-speed chess action going on the racetrack. Passing drivers, staying in front of them, and seeing if you can find somebody else to kind of team up with, do a little drafting with, a little bump drafting, and get on up through the field here. And we saw the 10 and 78 hook up and really get themselves around the outside, doing it the hard way up on the top. And Glessner was able to get clear, as was Hopkins. They moved down to that bottom side, and man, that's where they've been ever since. And you can see now the duo up top, led by Daddio. It's Daddio and Kibbe in the top 2 spots up on the high line. And you've got that 42 of Shanoski there as well. But it doesn't look like you can see the 4 cars kind of searching for a square spot on the back bumper of the 99, trying to get him a good bump. And as he's kind of going back and forth like that, it's making it harder for the drivers behind him to kind of aim in that back bumper. And all that changes because Daddio got just enough, and he's going to slide on down in front of Glessner for the lead. So we see that conveyor belt type deal almost work once again here. High side keeps pushing, slides that leader down to the bottom, and we keep rotating on through. And it really gives these drivers an opportunity to give a big push on that high side, because now you can see Kibbe has holding on a straight wheel here. You can see right on that double line, and he's getting a great push from the 42 car of Matt Shanoski. So you can tell some drivers work better in the draft with others, and that's sometimes you just kind of know how a driver feels and how they feel on the track, off the track, and what their reactions are going to be, especially if it's somebody you've raced in real life with, which a lot of these drivers have. One of the cool characteristics of the NEP series. Everybody in this league has some sort of connection to a real racetrack and a real race car, whether they're a driver, a track official, spotters, anything like that. So always cool to be able to make that tie-up between a little collar and elbow action between real racing and sim racing. And it goes the same way too. If you're on the sim with the driver, every night after work or after college or school or whatever you may be, you kind of get to understand what that driver's or how that driver is going to react to certain situations. And that comes into play in a big way in super speedway racing, because play track racing, anything can happen, especially when you kind of shake up different cars, different drivers as well. But man, when you get action like this here at Talladega, it's pretty awesome to watch. You can see still 2x2 pretty much all the way throughout the top 15 rows or so, or top 10 rows here or so. I'm sure I'll learn how to count one of these days. But Daddio's still on the bottom. Kibbe's still trying to make a little bit of a comeback there on that high side. Glessner going to go up, maybe try and steal away some of that side draft, tuck back into the tire tracks there of the double nines. And Kibbe going to get a little bit of a run now on the top side with that push from the 42. Halfway marker in this one, 25 down, 25 to go here at the Duel at Dega here for the NEP Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, presented by 229 Autosports. And 25 laps, green flag run here at Talladega. Been pretty amazing racing as far as super speedway goes. A lot of textbook drafting. These guys have definitely been practicing their drafting skills here, and it looks like we've already got first round of green flag pit stops. Brent Roy, John Peters, Ryan Messer, and Jeff Brown going to break away. Jeff Brown, you can see in the 27 car, pulling off pit road. But three drivers, all these drivers actually coming off pit road here at this point. So that's going to kind of force the hand here, I think, at this point. You can make it halfway. Everybody knows that. And so you're going to see a lot of drivers try to jump down to the bottom here. As you can see, a lot of drivers lined up on the bottom. I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of drivers peeling on off. See if they can get themselves a little Sunoco race fuel and some virtual tires slapped on these guys. Passing by the entry of pit road, the only driver down there right now going to be the 9 car of Jason Ricker, pitting solo on this lap. Everybody else staying out on track. Looks like these guys are going to try and stay out as long as they can. Maybe wait for a little late race caution here. And this is the first time, not the first time we've seen 3-wide racing here. And it's starting to get a couple of different duos and trios maybe hooked up. You can see Austin Belke having a great run up on that top side of that 24 car. The red and black car is, looks like Reagan Parent right up in front of him. Scuffed the wall just a little bit. How about that push from the 17, though? Pushing Kenny Kibbe all the way up to the lead. Thought about sliding on down in front of Daddio. Didn't quite have enough room. Reagan Parent, though, going to stick right to his back bumper. And that's one of those things you really got to focus in on. These guys right now are utilizing this time on track where everybody's kind of spread out just a little bit to seeing how big of a run they can get, how long it's going to take to come from maybe 3-4 cars back. Take a look at the yellow, or the red and yellow 24 car there of Austin Belke in the high side. He's got a little bit of push there from Ryan Salvatore in behind him, and he's trying to use that draft off the 4 car of Kibbe and the 17 of Parent. And you can see it's taken him about a half a lap, but now he's there. He's on the back bumper, and now he can make his move. If there's room, he can take that momentum to the high side like he almost did. And there he goes. He's going to stake a little bit better of it because at that same time, Kibbe in the 4 slid on down to the bottom side. So now the 24 going to tuck back in to the back bumper there, the 17 apparent. Great drafting, textbook drafting from these NEP guys here at Talladega. There you can see a handful of drivers peeling off. Lots of drivers here peeling off. You can see the 78 coming down of Hopkins, Keith Lord down there, Dale Glessner, Brandon Newhouse. Oh, they're wrecking on pit road. Glessner put in the wrong direction. Mike Hopkins there involved as well. That is tragedy. The 04 is Ship. He is turned in the wrong direction. Green flag is still going to stay out, though. Hopkins gets another bump. Lewandowski involved in that one. Ship in the 48. That is tough. Look at the front of the 01 car of Charles Lewandowski. Looks like a modified. Lots of damage on the front of that 01 car. Tough break. That is not what you want to see on those green flag pit stops. Another lap, another handful of drivers coming on down. This looks like it's going to be everybody else. A little bit of tire smoke and a lot of these guys getting woed up, but much cleaner than the last time around. Kibbe leading them all down, and this is where the strategy comes in, and you got to know that these drivers know exactly what happened on pit road last time by, so probably gave just a little bit extra room. You can see 24-12 getting parked up. Scott McDonald driving past his pit stall just a little bit. Going to have to back up before taking those tires. But man, oh man, tough break for those guys in the back. Here comes Corey Casagrande locking up that right front tire. Definitely going to have to change those up getting down to speed. But there you can see a handful of drivers that came down pit road last time by. They're all led by John Peters in the 09 car. As these drivers are starting to come off of pit road, they're all being led by Reagan Parent in the 17 car. And you can see that chrome definitely doing a little bit of justice here tonight. 15, 20 horsepower per square inch, something like that. 17 car coming off pit road with a little bit of space in between he and Daddio there. That's not necessarily what you want because he's going to have to try and get hooked up and get some drafting help. Because there you can see John Peters and company has caught up with these drivers. Now there's more guys coming off pit road, so they're going to be able to use that draft to really kind of close up a little bit quicker. But those 4 cars really able to get hooked up and drive on up through. And we haven't seen these guys up front for most of the race. John Peters, Ryan Metzer, Evan Bollier in line, Brent Roy there as well. And these were the guys that came down at the 25 lap marker as well. So you got to wonder hey, they had a little bit cleaner pit road, didn't have too much calamity going on. There wasn't any wrecking or anything, only 4 or 5 drivers down on pit road at that time. And they had a couple laps on track with the fresher tires to make up a little bit of ground. You can see Reagan Parent going to move up to the high side and let these guys go right on by. But you can bet he's going to try and tuck in right up behind Brent Roy. And they're going to try and pull away just a little bit. You can see the 5-car breakaway. Well, not quite a 5-car breakaway anymore because that pack behind him has kind of caught the tail there. They got a little bit of sniff of the draft off the back bumper of Daddy-O in that 99 car. You can see Reagan Parent going to find himself a spot. Keith Lord in the 17 car going a lap down after that pit road mishap we saw a lot of drivers involved with. Update on that, the 10 car of Glessner leading all those laps starting in second. Multiple laps down in 26th. Bobby Shipp in the 04 involved back in 27th. And Mike Hopkins, tough break for Mikey in the 78 car back in 28th after running up in the top 3, top 5. Man, new mix-up in the front. New sheriff in town, John Peters in the 09 car. Started 15th, P1. Ryan Messer started back in 23rd. He's currently 2nd. Evan Bollier started back in 16th. He's in 3rd. Steve Daddy-O started all the way back in 18th. He's back up there in 4th. And that's one of the beautiful things about super speedways. You can go through a round of green flag pit stops and still end up with a giant pack of cars, everybody having to spend similar amounts of time down on pit road to get the same service. So everybody kind of rejoining a group here, and they know they don't have to go back down pit road at all. They made it halfway. They can make it halfway. So at this point, you're just focusing on getting to the front. You're doing your homework as you've been doing all race long. You're taking a look at who's around you, what's around you, and you're seeing how drivers are kind of reacting, where they're slower, where they're quicker, where you're trying to kind of get a little bit better as these drivers want to get up towards the front. And we've seen that all race long where you see 2-3 guys kind of drop back just a little bit and try and catch that draft. And you can see the 24 car of Belke, known for super speedway racing and really pulling some awesome tricks out of his sleep at 22. How Marhefka going to slide on up in front of him because he sees that potential. That train's coming up on that top side. And you can see the middle groove losing a little bit of momentum there, but they're going to tuck back in. It's going to be a 6-pack string of cars there. And they're gonna take a look once again on that high side. Marhefka going to try and take some of that momentum up towards the front. You can see it's still side by side up front between Daddy-O and Peters. The action here at Talladega with this NEP series, hot. Going to be brutally cold here this weekend in southern New England and across much of the country and much of Canada as well. Now, we can't really help you out this weekend. We don't have that quick of shipping. But the next time it gets colder, there's a light chill in the air. Wouldn't it be nice to have a nice, comfortable hooded sweatshirt with maybe a beanie to match? Check out Vidane.net, the virtual Vidane TV merchandise hauler. We got t-shirts, hats, we got coffee mugs, stickers, beanies, trucker hats. There's all sorts of cool stuff. Lots of gym wear, tank tops, gym shorts. Check it out, Vidane.net. Use promo code Liberty to get yourself 10% off at that discount. There's at checkout for the discount. Promo code Liberty, 10%. English language, I struggle with it sometimes. And there's a lot of cold remedies on my desk here. But definitely check it out, Vidane.net. Get your Vidane TV, hooded sweatshirt, Angry Tree Guy, all sorts of different stuff up there. Rent a race car in there. Shout out to Gary and Paulie and the boys getting the Rent a race car fleet ready to rock and roll for Stafford Motor Speedway. And I'm excited. I get to make my triumphant return to the Street Stock Division in July. Going to be July 14th, the day after, or the night after, SRX Series rejoins Stafford Motor Speedway. That is a big racing weekend for Vidane TV. Gonna be a lot of fun. Thursday night, SRX Series at Stafford. Friday night, I'll be in the Street Stock because of Rent a Race Car. I'll be in the Vidane TV number 6 car and that's going to be a whole lot of fun. And then for Saturday, Sunday, following the train a little bit further north, going to be going to Loudon, New Hampshire to check out a little bit of wheel and modified racing, the Xfinity and the Cup Series up there on that same weekend. So if you're in the area or if you're at the racetracks, be sure to track me down all week long. I'm going to have myself a great big box of Verdane TV merch. More than happy to give that stuff away at the racetrack. Stop for a quick picture and stop and tell me your favorite Verdane TV moment. That's always cool to hear the stories, and it's one of the things that I really appreciate. Everybody out there tuning in here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, inviting me and Verdane TV into your homes here on a Thursday night. We're watching ourselves. We're getting rewarded here tonight with some phenomenal super speedway racing. These NEP guys giving it their all. We've seen pretty much everything. We saw a big wreck on pit road under green. We saw those green flag pit stops. Some guys performed them flawlessly. Other guys, a little bit of battle for real estate, a little bit of hurt feelings, a little bit of pointed in the wrong direction. But you can see there's still 23 cars, count them, 23 cars here on the lead lap. Now, granted, a couple of those cars getting ready to get galloped back up. And by this field, you can see Jeff Brown, Chip, Lewandowski, Corey Casagrande, they're all kind of hooked up there, Mike Hopkins, and they're going into turn 3 as these guys are halfway down the front straightaway. But they're 3 wide. That's going to be something to keep an eye on. If we come up on some lap traffic while we're 3 wide like this, man, oh man, there's just not enough room on the racetrack for all that calamity. So we'll see what happens here. 13 laps to go, 12 laps to go when we cross the stripe. Peter's still down on the bottom side in the 09 car, 99 at Daddio, kind of leading, almost leading 2 lines there. It's tough to tell what these guys are wanting to do. Some guys seem like they want to go on the high side, but other guys are telling them, hang on, a little bit too early here, crossing the stripe with 11 laps to go. And these guys know they can make a big move on that high side. They've been practicing it all evening long here in Talladega. They're just trying to figure out when. When is the best time to make that Hail Mary throw and try and get yourself up into the front. Right now, the 22 and 12, they say right now, Marhefka getting a good push there from Ryan Salvatore in the 12 car, and they've got some experienced drivers up in behind them in that high line. Belke in the 24, Gibby in the 4 car, but man, it's a who's who here in the NEP series up in this pack. Peters, Messer, Marhefka, Daddio, Ballou, Salvatore, Parrott, Roy, Belke, Uhouse. That's the top 10 as they run. We could go back through the 10 names, and next time they cross the stripe, it'll be a completely different order. That's the beauty here of super speedway racing. There you can see a little, almost 4 wide action. They kind of fan out, gather it back up. Everything A-OK here at this point, but man, these drivers are starting to look on look around the racetrack and see where they can really get a little bit of momentum, and they're looking out of looking out of places to look for dirt that hasn't been turned. One thing to keep in mind here, 9 laps to go. Kenny Kibbe in the 4 car came into tonight's race as the points leader. Was up in the top 5 momentarily. Right now running in the 12th position. Looks like stuck on that high side. this is going to be a big night for points because the top four, they're a little bit kind of separated from Kibby that's leading. Kibby's leading. Kibby's leading. Say that 5 times fast. By 23 points over Reagan Parent. Stephen Daddio in third, 2 points behind Reagan. Evan Bollier there, 32 points behind the leader. So, and you got to remember, each one of these positions on track is a point in the championship standings. So these drivers trying to do everything they can. You can see Daddio and Reagan Parent hooked up in that middle groove there. They know they've got an opportunity here to kind of work together and maybe close that gap on Kibby. Oh, man, 3 wide action, a little bit slicey and dicey for the 12 car. Salvatore is going to drop back just a little bit. But, man, these guys know that it's time to go. 8 laps to go. This is where you're going to start to see these guys take shots, take these Hail Mary throws up on the high side. You can see trying to get a big bump hooked up on that high side with Salvatore in the 12 car. Marhefka right up in front of the 22. That bottom side still being led by the reigning defending 3-time series champ, the 09 car, John Peters. Ryan Messer, he runs everything here on Benin TV, and he runs it well. We just saw him last night in the RBR. Oh, big wreck. Nope, they didn't wreck. They saved it, but big-time slide there. A couple of drivers going down below that bottom of the yellow line to get it sorted back out. I believe that was the 9 car of Ricker, if I am not mistaken. And I believe I am mistaken. It's Cody LeBlanc, I believe, getting... Nope, just kidding. I'm not sure who that was. But in any sense, they gather it back up, so we don't have to go to the U-House Racing Designs instant replay yet. Got to give them at least one plug, right? Haven't seen a caution here so far in this one. Been clean and green since the drop of that initial green flag. And a little bit of a blink there, a little bit of a connection issue for the 1 car of Messer. We've seen him have that same issue a time or two before, and that is frustrating for the drivers up in the front of the pack because as you see him blink out there, the other drivers are seeing his car blink out. So you can see basically looking out through the windshield there of Evan Bollier. As he's seeing the guy in front of him, you're trying to bump draft a guy that's not technically there. So that's going to be frustrating. You can see exactly what's going on there, having to really burp the throttle, and you can see that bottom side really starting to break up because of it. John Peters going to abandon ship. He's going to go up to the high side and try and utilize that front bumper of the 17 of Reagan Parent. Reagan Parent going to dip down low, it looks like. Nope, going to tuck back in. But a massive push there. Oh, Marhefka loose up the high side in the 22. Hard hit for Salvatore. Man, oh man, massive hit for that 12 car of the Orsal TV, Ryan Salvatore. That car looks, that doesn't even look like a car anymore. We'll back up with the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Must have jinxed it. Must have jinxed it. We'll take a peek at the YRD Designs instant replay and see exactly what went down there. We kind of saw it on the live shot, but man, oh man, that was a quick and ferocious hit. Gonna have to take a peek at this a couple of times and to kind of get an idea as to what went down. We're going to take a look here from the blimp, and you can see there's the contact. It looks like Brent Roy gets up into the 22 of Marhefka. Really just nowhere for Salvatore to go, it looks like, as we back that up a little bit here. And it's the beauty of the internet and the beauty of live TV. We can kind of combine the two and rewind it when we need to. So you see the 26 kind of drifted up into the 22. They went 4 wide briefly and just not quite enough. There's enough room here at Talladega to go 4 wide as long as everybody's ready for it. And at that point in time, I don't think we was ready. And you can see drivers, like this point of the race, guys are like, all right, this is going to be it. Big move. Oh, no, we're 4 wide. What do we do? And that's an unfortunate happenstance there for the 12 car, Ryan Salvatore. But we'll see if he's got a quick repair. He's going to come down pit road and maybe get that thing worked on. And the beautiful thing here at Talladega, it takes a long time to get around this racetrack. So he might be able to grab that quick repair. Indeed, he does. He's going to grab himself 4 fresh Mr. Feelgoods, put him on that car. That may very well be an advantage if he can get out in time. And he does look like he's going to be able to. You can see just elected to take the 2 tires, but Salvatore going to be able to beat that pace car coming off a pit road. So that's his good news for the 12 car. Going to stay on the lead lap. Steve Daddio going to elect to give up a little track position. He's going to come down. Brent Roy, he got a big chunk of damage there on the right side. Going to have to get that worked on. Bollier's down pit road. Marhefka, Belke, Daddio, we made mention. Shinoski down on pit road as well. But everybody else looking like they're going to stay out on track. This is going to be interesting. You're going to have some guys with fresh rubber coming up from the back of the pack. Little green-white checkered action. What more could you ask for on a Thursday night here live on Verdane TV? Long green flag runs, green flag pit stops, and then a green-white checkered. Half the field's got 4 fresh tires. How cool is that? So as they run right now, Peters, Parent, and McDonald 1, 2, and 3. Kenny Kibbe in the 4 car running in 4th. Brandon Marhefka in 5th. Ryan Messer, Cody LeBlanc, Zane Farrell, Dylan Kopak. How about that? We haven't mentioned Dylan's name all night long here. Still trying to get him up here in the broadcast booth. That 16 car. He's up 18 spots from where he qualified. Running 9th right now. Brian Shipp in the 48. Good recovery from him. Involved in an earlier incident. Adam Henry in the 62 car. How about that? 17 spots gained. He's the biggest mover, tied for biggest mover right now with Ryan Messer, who's up in 6th. Jaron Adams there in 12th. Steve Daddio, you can see, came down pit road. He's going to be back in 14th. Brent Roy with that damage. Looks like all has been repaired on the Camry Kid number 26. That all looks A-okay. Evan Bollier came down pit road. He's going to restart back here in 16th. And this very well could be a big, big points night for John Peters. We made mention that it's reigning defending 3-time series champ. Nobody else has won an NEP championship other than John Peters. And we've seen that he's kind of had a couple of slow starts to the season. Little bit of a later start this season, too. But, man, as soon as that 09 car catches fire here in NEP, watch out. Going to start racking up those wins in a big way. And Peters coming into tonight, 6th in points. And that is a big hole to try and climb out of 50 points back from that leader. And that leader in the points right behind him in the 4 car. So tough to really make up points here, but it's an easy way to lose points at super speedway tracks here at Talladega, pretty much anywhere that you run these super speedway tracks. We've heard it time and again here at Talladega, Daytona, anything can happen. And that's one of the things the drivers here in the NEP series we're talking about before practice even started. It's Talladega. Anything can happen. We've seen a lot of drivers kind of come and go throughout this race, but going to get that restart here with 2 laps to go. A little green-white checkered action. How about that here on Verdane TV? And lined up 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through the field. 12 rows deep. There are 24 cars on the lead lap. Keith Lord, Mike Hopkins, Bobby Shipp still out on track. All 3 of those guys a lap down. Dale Glessner looks like the only driver parked in the garage area. The number 10 car scored in 28th. So that's a tough deal for the 10 crew after leading all those laps the first half of this race. But with 24 cars on the lead lap, green-white checkered, 2 laps to go, literally anybody can come home with the victory. Lights back on top. The iRacing pace car going to get a little timing and scoring sorted back out. Make sure the running order is right. Make sure everybody's where they need to be here for what could be the final restart of the Duel at Dega, presented by 229 Autosports. I want to thank everybody again here for tuning into Vidane TV. We're live all over the internet like we like to do. Vidane TV taking over. We're on the YouTube page. Do a quick search, especially if you've got a smart TV, one of those smart little stick thingies that's got the YouTube app. You got it hooked up to a big screen. Do a search for Vidane TV. Do yourself a favor. This stuff looks pretty good on the big screen, and we always like seeing snapshots and pictures of that on the Twitter. Use hashtag Vidane TV to join the conversation. We're live on Strictly 94, twitch.tv/Strictly 94, my own personal gaming page. Check that out. Give it a quick little follow, as well as Facebook. We're on the Vidane TV page. We're on the NEP page as well. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in tonight, welcoming Vidane TV and the NEP series into your homes, your living rooms, your bedrooms, your garage, the shop. Hey, wherever you're watching us, we're glad to be here. Be sure to check out Vidane.net. Grab yourself a t-shirt, hooded sweatshirt, hat, all that good stuff. We got a lot of springtime stuff in there too. Gym gear, Vidane.net. Use that promo code Liberty. Get yourself 10% off at checkout. And as always, if you like what you're drinking, be sure to tip the bartender. Tip.vidane.net. Always cool to be able to grab a little bit of Grubhub after the show here. But man, oh man, green-white checkered action here tonight. 2 laps to go when we get to the stripe. And we're going to be talking to 3 drivers here on the Turn 4 podcast, post-race show. And I can tell you right now, it's going to be 3 drivers that are A, wore out, and B, very excited. This has been a phenomenal race here so far this evening. 1 caution flag late in the going. And we've had a kind of an extended caution period here. So it kind of gives everybody an opportunity to maybe ease those nerves up just a little bit and kind of relax just a little bit. But you don't want to relax too much, because once that green flag drops, you really want to make sure that you're still on your A game, that you're still going to be able to drop the hammer and get up to the front, especially when you've got 24 cars on the lead lap. That's 24 drivers that could potentially come home with the victory. Pace car's going to dip down. He's going to tune into the rest of the race on Vidane TV on a little YouTube app on his phone. Going to be able to check that out. They are left out on the track. We're waiting for Barney in the flag stand to wave that green flag. And there is the restart that John Peters needed up on that high side. Elected that high side because he knew it was going to work. And he's got the top 2 guys in points right in behind him. Kenny Kibbe in the 4 car. Reagan Parent there in the 17. They're going to drop down to the bottom. Scott McDonald in the 44 car, having a solid run up in the top 5. Ryan Messler in the 1 car. He wants to come up here and join this fight. 5 cars kind of breaking away just a little bit. And you can see drivers kind of splitting into 2-car packs. Brendan Marhefka going to get hooked up with Zane Farrell. Zane, haven't seen him all night long. He's in the top 10 now. And these guys are going to have themselves one heck of a dogfight on this final lap. Don't count these guys out here. You're going to see some phenomenal racing back to the line here for sure. I've got a feeling those guys are going to be able to get hooked up and get a run. Who's going to be the ones to make that run? Zane Farrell says it's going to be me. He's going to get up to the back bumper of the 1 car of Ryan Messer. Look at the run they're getting. Reagan Parent going to go up and try and steal some of that air away, but it doesn't seem like it's working like he likes it to. The white flag, white rag, 1 lap to go here at Talladega. Ryan Messer, massive push there from the 14 of Zane Farrell. Getting a little bit more help now. The 4 car, the points leader, Kenny Kibbe, he's going to join those top 2 guys on the top side. John Peters down on the bottom side. Reagan Parent in the 17 there as well. Scott McDonald trying to close the gap. Look all the way up top, though. The 13 car, he's going to try and make a little magic happen all the way up on the high side. Nobody's going to go with him. Daddy-O's going to go with him. Going to tuck into the bumper there of Marhefka. There's Blue. He's going to try and get a little bit of push up there. I don't think they're going to have enough time to get back around unless something happens, and there it happens. The 17 in the back of the 09 car, we are wrecking, coming to the checkered. Who's going to make it through but the 13 car of Marhefka? Brandon Marhefka going to come home with the victory. John Peters, after getting turned, going to come home second. Reagan Parent in third. Scott McDonald in fourth. Ryan Salvatore, Sal TV, after destroying his race car, coming home in fifth. Dylan Kopak, how about the 16 car? I think that might be his first top 15 in here in NEP. Great run for Dylan Kopak in that 16. Austin Belke going to finish in 7th. Brandon Uhouse in 8th. Matt Shanoski, Kenny Kibbe going to round out the top 10. Folks, I'm sick as a dog. I can't get that excited. How about that finish?
Uh, it's pretty impressive. We're coming from the back of the pack there, so that was kind of fun. The OL definitely set us back after qualifying third, but that was one heck of a race. That was definitely fun. Yeah, to be honest, at that point, I just kind of threw on the ARCA brakes there, and went up towards the fence there because I saw they were all going to the inside. So I was like, well, we better just hope for the best and just pin it and go to the finish line.
And it worked out pretty well, being up on that high side. Not too much distance to cover if you get up into that wall and making that high side work, man. Awesome run here. Congratulations. And I think I'm as excited as you are. This is pretty cool to be able to have that much green flag racing here at Talladega. Do a quick little green white checkered finish and still have a crazy action packed finish like that. But man, congratulations. Who gets it done here for you? Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
So all my sponsors, the Allied Milk Producers, Memorial Highway Chevy, Burke Towing, Edge Racing Engines, Valvoline. But my parents are at home watching, I'm sure, or somewhere. And then the the entire Pennsylvania team in the Discord, we kind of tried to stick together all race. So we definitely made it work, and then we kind of got a little bit jumbled up there coming to the end. But I also want to give a shout out to my girlfriend. I don't know if she's watching tonight or has class, but yep.
And one final question: where is Pennsylvania on the map?
Uh, it's in Pennsylvania, but we're just kind of that little corner that we're Pennsylvania.
It's far, far western Pennsylvania.
Yes, yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome! Congratulations, one great run here tonight.
Thank you, guys.
We'll slide on further a little bit down pit road. Man, this guy's picking up steam in the field. Should be afraid. John Peters coming home in second. Looked like you had it in the bag, but man, what a last lap.
Paul, I was going straight, and then I wasn't. It happened that fast. I think we've talked about this before. And the plate racing is playing chess for 99% of the laps, and then playing Russian roulette on the last lap. And I'm not sure there's a better articulation of that than what just happened.
Yeah, and we can see anything can happen, and it's crazy to even go back and think about the call. So you see the 22 car go up, or check that, the 13 car, wrong Marhefka. The 13 car goes up on the high side. It's too late. You don't have enough time unless something, and you see the '09 car pointed in the wrong direction. And isn't that one of the keys to the race? Keep the car pointed straight at Talladega?
It is. I felt like I did a lot of what I needed to do. I really didn't expect to get to the lead. My plan, because I didn't qualify so well, was just to ride around in the back. And we timed the pit stop out right. By the time it cycled back around, somehow I was leading the race. So strategy kind of flips at that point, and it's just try to lead every lap to the finish, and led every lap except the last quarter of the lap. I think Reagan was just pushing hard, and we had a big run coming up on the top with Ryan and Zane, and you get to the end of these things, and everybody's trying to get everything they can get, and next thing you know, I'm hooked in the bumper, and I just kept driving it. I didn't want to give up on it because you never know. At Daytona, it was kind of the same thing. You just race back to the line. So I kept driving it. It straightened back out, and I kept digging. By the time I blinked and realized what had just happened, Marhefka had gone flying by. So that's just the way these things go. I'll take second. I'm glad it wasn't 20th. So we'll take it and see what happens here in the final stretch.
Yeah, good points nights. If nothing else, got to find the silver lining somewhere, right? And you can see Reagan Parent finished one spot behind you. You only gained one point, but man, every point kind of counts here in NEP, and finished a handful of positions in front of Kibbe. He could finish back in 10th. So slowly starting to chip away here. This mid-season kind of a firecracker getting lit underneath the '09 crew. Starting to slowly chip away at that points lead.
I don't know why this seems to happen every year, and I don't really understand it. It's not like I'm trying to crash in the beginning of the year, but it seems it always happens that way, and then in the middle we kind of get things turned around. But unfortunately, I'm pretty confident I'm going to miss the next two races with some things I got coming up. So I don't know what the sub rule is. I've already had subs twice. We'll see what the stewards say, but it's been a fun battle nonetheless. Kenny's had a great season. I think it's a miracle he finished 10th tonight because he's been top 3 just about every week. So he's doing all the right things he needs to do. And I'll keep trying to win races and put the pressure on, and we'll see what happens.
Hey, worst case scenario, we could slap an 09 sticker on the side of the production truck. We'll go out and start and park for you.
Hey, that'd be fun.
But, man, great run here tonight. Got to give you an opportunity to thank everybody that makes it happen. Virtual racetrack, real racetrack. Who gets you to and from the racetrack?
Thanks to you guys for doing this. Appreciate you bringing the entertainment to the masses. Thanks to NEP. Shout out to 229 Autosport for sponsoring the Duel at Dega here. Hey, we all couldn't get up in the top 10, but we tried. Thanks to my mom for watching, everybody else who watches, my fiance and my 2 dogs for letting me do it. I enjoy it and look forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Again, slowly chipping away at that points lead. And we're going to go a little bit further down pit road and see if we can catch up with that third place finish. They're going to be the 17 car of Reagan Parent. Led a bunch of laps here tonight. New colors, I think. A little bit of extra chrome on that car. Is the rumor true? Is that chrome like 15 horsepower per square inch?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah, I added that paint scheme a week ago when we were at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, it wasn't running up in the top 3 and up in the lead and all over the place here at Talladega. It didn't catch it. I'm sure we saw it on the screen, but man, it caught my eye here at Talladega, making some great moves in that 17 car and trying to get every point that you can. And anything can happen at Talladega. Did you come in with a kind of a conservative mindset where you're going to try and keep the car in one piece, or were you shooting for that win?
I'm shooting for the win. It's Talladega. I either said you got to be in the front or all the way in the back. It's kind of what the game plan was. So I started up front and just rode there for as long as I could. When we all pitted under green, I was able to cycle out into the lead and then drop back to about 6 when the pack finally came around to me. And we were just able to maintain up front, run around 4th place the whole time, 3rd, 4th in there. Just try to ride up front for as long as we could.
And really made it look easy here in that 17 car. Got to give you an opportunity here to thank the folks that maybe watching at home, friends, family, sponsors, who makes it happen for you.
Yeah, RKM Setup Shop, the 229 guys, they kind of let me hang out and race in there. Preston for the paint scheme. My parents know me watch, so hi, Mom, Dad. Just you guys for doing the broadcast, everybody, NEP, Shift, just everybody for putting this whole thing together. Just glad I can come and race every week.
We're glad to be able to watch you coming home in at 3rd here at Talladega. Good points nights, and on to the next one. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
And that's going to wrap things up here for us at Talladega. A little Thursday night action at NEP. And we're going to take one final look there at the running order. You can see we just talked to the Brandon Marhefka, the John Peters, the Reagan Parent in the top 3 spots here on the Turn 4 podcast post-race show. And these drivers are ready to kind of get it packed up and get on to next week. You'll be able to catch that action right here on Vidane TV. Next time we go live, going to be Tuesday night with a little doubleheader action. The Liberty Racing League going to be running their Super Speedway Series, and then the Kartplex iRacing Group going to be running about 10:30 Eastern, a little late night primetime action, a little Mazda Miata road course racing action. Wednesday night going to be our RBR Maritime Group coming on back to us in their 10-pack of races, and then Thursday night right back here for NEP Night in America one mo again. We will catch you on the flip side, and when we do, here at Vidane TV, we are going to be doing it live.